This is Jacob. Welcome to Dangerville. Last year, before even the first Godzilla vs. Kong promotional material was released, Alistair made a video discussing what would happen for both the story and fan base if Kong did go on to defeat Godzilla. Fast forward many months and now we know for sure that Kong, well, spoilers I guess at this point, he didn't win, regardless of how hard he fought. But with the knowledge that we now have, being able to watch the movie countless times over, the question again comes to the surface. What if Kong actually won? How would it have changed the story and world of monsterverse lore? That's the theory for today, residents. So sit back, grab yourself a pint or a juice box, and let's get to it. Heading on back to the epic finale of Godzilla vs. Kong. Kong was fighting his heart out, but in the end he came up short. But if he did win the battle, how would it have happened? On the surface of the planet, Kong had no chance. But there was another option. In this theory, the battle rages on. Kong knows that Godzilla is eventually going to bring him down unless he does something drastic. Kong avoids Godzilla long enough to get his axe firmly in hand, and now waits on the side of a building like we see him do in the film. But unlike what actually happened, this theory will give Kong a much better decision than to jump on the atomic reptile's back. He knows that he needs to get Godzilla in the perfect location for this plan to come into fruition. So he grabs a nearby crane left on one of the building tops and he throws it near the giant hole that he came out of. Godzilla becomes distracted by the crane crashing near the hollow earth hole that he had just recently blown into the ground. He is clever, but his adrenaline and testosterone is on such high levels due to his battle with Kong that he rushes towards the hole thinking that perhaps Kong had found a way to sneak in and escape. As Godzilla leans over the hole to get a look, Kong strikes. The ape throws his axe directly at Godzilla, smashing with such force that it breaks a few of the king's dorsal spines and sticks into his back. Godzilla roars in pain, and for a few moments is not quite the vicious fighter he had been up to that point. Before the G-Man has time to recover and get angry, Kong rushes towards him and with all his force and mass, spear tackles Godzilla, sending them both tumbling into the deep hole to the hollow earth. As they fall, Godzilla attempts to claw and grab onto anything, but his immense weight is too much to be stopped. Kong at this point is simply along for the ride of his life. Eventually they reach the vortex and are both sucked into the crazy void, and for a few seconds everything was quiet. Then they burst out the other end of the vortex where gravity had flip-flopped. Their momentum carries them through the other end of the hole and back to Kong's lair. How any of this is possible, no one knows, guys. Now Kong has an advantage here. Even though Godzilla's blast had collapsed the majority of the temple, there was still enough of it intact for them to continue their great battle to end the monster wars that at one point in time took place in this very location. The energy source found in the temple is no longer contained to the floor as the destruction unleashed its full potential. Now no longer contained for limited use, the power surges all around. Kong quickly rips the axe out of Godzilla's back and runs towards the blue hue of energy that is now floating in the air. This enrages Godzilla even more, his back still spewing blue flames from his damaged plates. He charges Kong on all fours full of hate and anger. Kong's axe begins to glow blue as it sucks up the energy, now entirely filling up what was left of the temple. But so do Godzilla's spines. The axe is made from a Godzilla dorsal plate, so of course the creature itself would also benefit from this power source. But this energy source is too powerful, and now that it wasn't contained to the floor, it rushed into Godzilla, almost appearing to overcharge him back to his burning stage we seen in King of the Monsters. Kong sees this and decides there's only one thing he can do: run. Godzilla crashes into the side of a wall as Kong leapt out of the way just in time. The ape runs to the other side of the temple, feeling the power of his ancestors guiding him and making him no longer have any fear. He turns to see a blue mass circling the giant hall, coming straight towards him. Godzilla was overloading on the energy due to his open wounds on his back. The opening into his body was allowing the energy to not be channeled and held back by his dorsal plates. Kong stared at the devil approaching him. Every second Godzilla got closer, and Kong was ready for him. He now knew how Godzilla fought when he was enraged. He was gonna dive headfirst straight at him. So all he had to do was wait. And then it happened. Godzilla managed to leap off the ground and fly through the air like a 100,000-ton missile. Kong sidestepped right in time and slammed the axe down right on the back of Godzilla's neck. The blade cut deep, but it did not sever the king's head. Godzilla crumbled to the ground. In a normal situation, he could have healed from this wound, but his now overloaded state had gotten even worse, as the energy rushed into his neck wound. Seeing how his enemy still wasn't dead after all of that, Kong took advantage of this and quickly escaped out of the giant doors he first came through into the temple. Godzilla was no longer concerned with Kong at this point. He tried to set off his atomic blast to help release some of the pressure building inside of him, but to no avail. His body was sucking in the energy like a black hole. As Kong continues to run away, he looks back and the mountain temple explodes in a blue ball of fire. The mountain collapses and Godzilla is presumed dead. Kong wasn't about to go and look. He would be ready if his enemy was to return, but his enemy never did. After some time, Monarch was able to return to the Hollow Earth through the Antarctic entrance and find Kong. Sign language communication attempts performed by Gia, Nathan, and Eileen, along with the clear destruction, gave them enough information to inform the rest of the world that Godzilla was gone and that Kong was now the king of Hollow Earth. In this theory, we never got to see Mechagodzilla have his dramatic entrance due to the timing being off. Mechagodzilla was not unleashed until the following morning in the actual story, so now, Apex and Walter Simmons agree to take the extra time needed to study the mysterious energy source that was mined from the Hollow Earth. In a matter of months, they perfected the energy, and tests alluded to Ghidorah's skull still having telepathic capabilities, so the corporation was able to nullify that, and make sure Ghidorah's spirit would hopefully never gain control. With Godzilla no longer around, the original purpose of Mechagodzilla was no longer necessary. But when the other Titans awakened, looking to become the Alphas in Godzilla's absence, Apex revealed Mechagodzilla and the Iron Giant did exactly what it was intended to do. Now with the world fully supporting Apex and Mechagodzilla, they were practically invulnerable. Walter Simmons was never able to get over the death of his daughter, and after hearing it was Kong's fault, he vowed to avenge her death and kill the ape. Eventually, Apex wanted to take advantage of the resources in the Hollow Earth, but Kong and the other monsters always made quick work of the heave ship sent there. So Mechagodzilla was sent in secrecy to kill anything that got in their way. Inevitably, Kong and Mechagodzilla met. Kong was now rejuvenated with youth due to being in his true environment and a healthy ecosystem. There was nothing on the Hollow Earth that could challenge him, but Mechagodzilla is not from the birthplace of the Titans. Kong fights valiantly, but Mechagodzilla is much too powerful, and the heave units assisting the machine would fire on Kong at any point where he started to gain an advantage. Mechagodzilla manages to stab his tail blade directly into Kong's leg, crippling the beast. Mechagodzilla then slams Kong to the ground and places its metal foot on his chest. Kong lets out a mighty roar so intense that it was able to be heard for miles around. Here, the error of mankind's way of thinking saves Kong. Instead of finishing Kong off, Apex leaves the giant metal foot on Kong so that he would suffer before finishing him off. A pack of Titanus Dugs charge from all sides and take Mechagodzilla off its feet. Life seemingly pops up out of the ground and out of nowhere to attack the foreign object who was attacking their king. Animals who would normally hunt and feed off of one another now work together to bring Mechagodzilla down. As the metal beast tried to fight back, he would kill one just for 3 more to take its place. Warbats came from all angles and destroyed the heave ships, helping Mechagodzilla. As the wildlife ripped into Mechagodzilla like a pack of zombies, Kong gained enough strength to stumble up to the chaos ensuing. The metal giant stared into Kong's eyes, but Kong wasted no time in grabbing the head and ripping it off. The wildlife drifted away almost as suddenly as they appeared, and it was all over. With this clear attack and attempt at harvesting the powers of the Hollow Earth for their own gain, now known to the world, Apex was investigated and Walter Simmons' plan of world domination was uncovered. He was arrested and Apex slowly crumbled. Back in Hollow Earth, Kong healed and went on with his life. Everything was balanced and calm for years, until one day. Residents, I really hope you enjoyed that theory video. I had a real good time putting it all together in my head, and I'd like to know your thoughts on this what if Kong won situation. Clearly in the end, Godzilla survived their battle, and yeah, who knows, that sets up a traumatic a rematch, so I don't know, just a story I thought was worth sharing that I put together in my mind. I hope you all enjoyed it enough, so make sure to subscribe if you feel like I've earned it. Share this video around so it can reach more monster fans like you. As always, everyone, I will see you in the next one.
Stop.